Morning everybody, it's Chris here from Serene Education and welcome to the 6th of April. I'm just going to go over the four majors this morning, starting with our Euro against US dollar on our CTC strategy template. Daily time frame, standard rules, put your trend lines in, support and resistance. So while I'm chatting to you, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Those of you who trade wicks or bodies preference, you can see on this pair here, if you trading the bodies, pair slammed into the resistance, a prior resistance level, and 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts, try to break higher. And this morning in the Asian market, we've seen price take it well above. However, we've got this little high here that we saw 2 days prior. Roughly where price is trading now at 14.26.35 and change. There's a little top that's going to get in the way. So we're trading well above and testing our prior resistance level in the past as well. So yeah, 14.300 is the area. Consolidation, yeah, 2 prior days of indecision, and we've seen the Asian market really move this morning to the upside, capitalizing on what we saw yesterday. Started negative to start with and then finished off quite bullish but indecisive nonetheless. However, the great beauty of this is we're still above the 20 period moving average and moving very, very swiftly to the upside on these nice bounces on this trend line. So as it stands now, hesitations in place primarily because we're trading at a resistance level and we're consolidating. You can see that the definite resistance along this line here. If we can just put that in, and price is trading above it. So as long as we can be trading above that going into the close of today, the US session, then it just bodes well because now we're trading higher than this resistance level that we've seen take place on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 occasions on a daily time frame. So quite a strong resistance level. Break higher than that would confirm that price is still wanting to move higher. Ideally we want to see price trading above 14,300. If we can see that, then we could see further extension. Just looking at a weekly chart, you'll notice that price is well extended. You can see we've had swings higher on each occasion as prices moved to the upside. Now I mentioned it's 14,300. We have a strong resistance level primarily because we've had a price support in the past. And you can see going even further back into the latter part of 2009, we've had some resistance and support. So we could possibly see a lot of consolidation taking place now because of that. Intraday, now that we've got to put down 1300 as a resistance level, but also the 14, the same goes for this area here. We're trading at, what was the high of this? 14.2670. 14.2670. 2670. So that is the resistance level. You've got to say to yourself, cool, if price is still trading above that going into the close of tonight or this evening, then it just bodes well because we're trading above a long-term resistance in a daily time frame. Remember I said that we had 6 attempts at this level. So if we're breaking and trading higher than that, that means then the momentum is definitely with us. Because ideally, if it had failed on 6 occasions, you would have thought price would have pulled back. But price has pulled back slightly, consolidated, and then reattempted quite soon after that pullback. It's important because that means the momentum is still shifting to the upside and expecting further gains. So you can see on a 30-minute chart, for example, I've put in that area of resistance on a bigger time frame in as a reference, and you can see the swing highs. And now we're squeezing. Now there should be price action happening now, or the first course of this morning. You can see price is definitely trying to break higher. if you just draw a quick line, the Asian low at the moment now, we're looking at around about 14,2500, and you can see it's consolidated in that band. So if it stays along this band for the remainder of this morning and going to this afternoon and still attempting, then there's going to be more emphasis of further upside movement. If it hangs around this resistance level, it's just telling you that the big money is still wanting to go forward. Otherwise, they would have retreated by now. 6 attempts, you would have thought, crikey, give up, let's go south. But they're still wanting to break higher and go higher. So that means the momentum is still driving the institutions. The big money is still driving this to the upside. There still seems to be a lot of emphasis, and people seem to think there's a lot more gains to be made. I'm just going to quickly look at, we're trading at the 61.8% fib extension from the start of this up move. So we had the up, pullback, continuation. We're now at 61.8. Got to be trading above 61.8 to be considered bullish. And if you really wanted to just put in an alert, it's at roughly the 14,2800 mark for you to get a definite clear indication. If it's trading above that, then it's definitely trading well above the resistance level, and we should see possible consolidation and then further continuation from then. Next up is the daily time frame for the sterling against US dollar, and you can see on the daily time frame, bring it in, you can see cable really moving now. Massive move yesterday, and this is primarily because we've seen a definite bounce to the upside from the 1600 that I keep mentioning as a strong support area. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 bounces on this since the breakout that we saw in the latter part of January of this year, and we're moving swiftly higher. And our first target will be trading wicks. Close here at 16,630 is next target, or the wicks at 16,400 next target. Look at your bigger time frame. However, looking at the weekly, you can see that we had a prior swing. This all coming in line roughly around where price is trading as we speak. Okay, so be aware that we could see a bit of a pullback consolidation around about 16,400 or just thereabouts. Look to see what the candlestick patterns are doing. Ideally, you can see prior we had a lot of consolidation in this band. On a weekly, you can see that the swings are higher. That's one over here at the 1600. Sorry, apologies. At 1500, you can see a swing, or just below that. Apologies. Yeah, there we go at about 50, also 1554. So it's bounce, continuation, and the trend direction, if you can see, swing high, swing high. So momentum drive is still in this fashion. CTC on a weekly is positive, which is a good sign. So back to a daily. So look at possible consolidation as we go creep higher towards the 16,400 mark. Intraday, everything on cable is blue CTC wise. So you should be looking for possible entry levels for further upside movement. Be aware though that roughly around the 16,400 mark there is a resistance level, prior resistance level. So put that in. As you can see here on an hourly, for example, we've had breakout consolidation. There we go. It's just also broken out this little consolidation band after a huge push from yesterday. Breakout. The projection for this. There we go. Trading at 100%, guys, at 16,3600. And you notice we're having swings higher and higher and higher. So as long as it stays on that side of the trend, then we should be looking for further upside movement. Moving averages are well evenly spread. Just be aware though, 16,400 is a resistance level, guys. Okay, we're trading now, we're reaching a band now where there's a lot of consolidation in the past on a daily. So we could expect it now. So you could say to yourself, well, do I rather leave it and wait for confirmation break above 16,400, which means you could be sitting with your day, a day or two with your hands sitting on top of your hands for a couple of days, or you don't trade or look for a possible pullback. But as long as it keeps doing this, then you should be looking for upside movement. Okay, so in this case over here, the extension is 30 is too close in my eyes, so wait for a break above 16,600 for possible 30 or 40 pips up to the 16,400 mark. Okay, moving on to the US dollar Swiss franc daily. Notice that prior support was resistance for a number of days, and then we saw hesitation in the breakout. Yesterday's candle engulfed the prior day. It's a confirmation that we're still looking for upside movements. The swing's high. We've broken above the 20 period moving average, and that swing high has caused it. Well, that engulf pair yesterday, daily engulfing the previous day, has confirmed that there's upside movement. So we had a swing high, swing high, swing high, swing high. So we should be looking for further extensions for this pair to at least roughly around the 0.93500 mark, the previous breakout. So what pair needs to do now? It needs to stay above this previous resistance level. If I can just draw a straight line, it'd be great. So the previous resistance on these two candles here would be your stop or your support area intraday for this pair. Got to be trading above that to see further movements to the upside. So if price can stay above this area here going into the US session this afternoon, it all bodes well for it. So 0.92500 is your support area. Break through that, then we could see a reattempt of the lows that we saw on this candle here. So the low 0.920 would be another indication. You could see further push to the downside, but ideally if price can still be trading above the 925 area going into the US session, then we could see price move further up to 935 during the course of today or the remainder of this week. Intraday, you can see a lot of hesitation for this pair. However, you can still see we having higher swings, and it's trading above the two important intraday moving averages, and the CTC is blue on either side. You can see CTC is also blue on hourly, 4 hour, 30 minutes, 50 minute and 5 minutes are getting a bit of consolidation, hesitation, primarily because we're trading above that area. And I mentioned that we've got to be looking at this area here as on a daily at 0.9250. 0.9250. There we go. This price is still trading above that going into the US session. That means we're trading above yesterday or the prior high, and it bodes well because now that becomes a new support area. And as long as I find support along this area or anywhere above this, if it's trading higher than this, then we should be looking for further upside movement because of that. Last pair of the day is the US dollar against Japanese yen. Just going to look at a daily time frame. Wow. US dollar gaining a lot of momentum against the yen. We all know that the Japanese market is under a lot of pressure after the earthquake and tsunami and its issues with its nuclear facilities at the moment. Trading well above the 100 now at the 85.1 mark. Trading well above prior resistance on a daily. Notice on a weekly though, we're now testing the 50 period moving average, and this is primarily as we inch up close to prior resistance and support at the 85.50 mark. So we could see a bit of a consolidation occurring because of this. If however by the end of this week we're trading above the 50 period moving average, then the CTC should and would go blue, and we could see further extensions. It's now definitely eked out a bottom as after this breakout at 8100 and fall lower, and now that we're trading above prior swing to the downside, primarily this smaller one, you can see resistance, resistance, and then breakout. As long as we can find this pair can actually stay this bullish and stay higher than this or close higher than that, then we're definitely looking for further upside movement. And our first target would be at least the 8700 mark, or just above the 8700 mark for this pair on a long term. CTC, however, on a bigger time frame is still negative. Swing low, swing low, swing low. This one we are pretty much broke higher, but we've got lower swings and we've broken that lower swing. So good, this is good. Stays above that, then it'll definitely see CTC, etc. on the bigger time frames confirming further movement, and then we could look to ride that movement on our intraday charts or daily time frames. Intraday, you can see with all this upside movement, the CTC on a 4 hour is well extended. CTC is in our favor. Hourly, exactly the same. We had a breakout yesterday after resistance, 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 resistance on the hourly chart at 85.15, and then a breakout. We've had a pullback since. As long as you can stay above 85.15, then it bodes well, because not only are we trading higher than both the moving averages, but we're also trading the CTC is still confirming further upside movement. So as long as it doesn't break lower than 85.15, then we should look for possible pullback. You can see lower swings, it's just pulling back now, and then see if we can catch momentum to the upside. If it fails to find support at 85.15, then look for possible pullbacks to at least a 20 period moving average, roughly around the 8500 mark or 84.50, and further down to the downside. So looking at our 15 minutes, you can see prior resistance, support, support. So as long as it stays above this area here, between 85.15 and 85.20, then we should be looking for possibility of further momentum to the upside. You can see we've had a pullback on Asian market trading, swing low from the prior high that we saw up here at 85.50. For this pair to remain bullish, it still needs to be trading above the 50 period moving average, above the support area here at 85.15 or 18, and then we could see a reattempt of the high that we saw yesterday. But as I mentioned to you, we're now trading on a bigger time frame around the 85.50 mark, and that on a bigger time frame, i.e. your daily, weekly, we've got resistance in place. So be aware of it. Could see consolidation taking place, and anybody's in trades, just tighten your stops. But ideally a rally and break higher than that going into the remainder of this week would definitely bode well for this pair. Otherwise we could see consolidation taking place. You can see here candles on a 4 hour, very bullish after the breakout that we saw there. Very bullish. The entire wick body is engulfed, but as we got higher to this 85.50, you can see price action happening. Still moving, but price action happening down the bottom of the candle now, confirming consolidation, hesitation, more emphasis on hold on, let's be taking some of our profits off the table now, and hence we see a bit more selling occurring than buying at this stage. In order for that to start again, we need to see it trading higher than 85.50, and then we could see possibly people getting back in again, because we're trading above a prior resistance area, and hence the reason why we might be getting further extensions and swing highs and momentum high. Okay, that's it for today. Hope you have a fantastic trading day. Make sure that you follow the rules of the CTC strategy. Make sure that your money management is in place, and most importantly, be happy with your trading and your decision making.